Coming up next on the Jeff Crilley Show, if you've gained the quarantine 19 or maybe more than that, you'll want to listen to our next guest. She is a healthy living expert who's going to inspire you with hope to make and keep that New Year's resolution to lose weight. That's next.
Many are predicting that the worst is yet to come, which is unfortunate, said one person here. Until now, they've enjoyed the reputation of being the nation's icebox.
Watched a burglar in his home this morning by webcam.
As a journalist of over 25 years, stories are what make my world turn.
Reporting live from the Dallas newsroom tonight, Jeff Crilley, Fox 4 News.
But in 2008, I took the jump from my familiar life and started a PR firm from my home.
We're talking about anyone with a camcorder like the one I'm using becomes a television network.
We started slowly growing the company, and we now have over 100 clients, and we've branched into the world of live digital broadcasting. I now own 8 different TV studios and have a huge team, and the stories that I now get to share are sometimes the most important of my life. Life has a funny way of coming around full circle. This is the Jeff Crilley Show.
Well, let's face it, a lot of us developed bad habits during the pandemic, stress eating, stress drinking. Many of us are medicating ourselves with something, and we're coming up on New Year's resolution time. That's why I have my next guest in studio, Melanie Orchard. She is a healthy living expert. Thanks for coming on the show.
Well, thanks for having me. I am looking forward to the new year.
Well, unlike a lot of people where the before and after is really dramatic, like somebody lost 100 pounds, you did not lose 100 pounds. You lost how many pounds?
I lost 17.
17 pounds. And was it a tough journey?
It was not a tough journey, but it was inspiring to be able to get started, feel better, increase my energy, and get rid of that crazy sugar addiction that had been plaguing me for so long.
And your downfall was chocolate?
Chocolate, yes. Chocolate chips, to be exact.
But you were also, you were working out at the time. So you were doing something right.
Yes. So I was the first person to say, I know what I need to do. I just need to do it.
We got to show the before and after of you because I can see it. I can see it in your face. And that's a 17-pound weight loss?
It is.
How much time elapsed?
17 pounds. It was about 17 weeks. I took it slow. I got rid of the fat, but in the meantime, I was also increasing my energy, changing my mindset, changing my habits so that I wasn't in a position where it's New Year's Day and now I'm making all of these New Year's resolutions that will probably fall away in the next 3 weeks.
Wow. You were telling me before the broadcast that there were times when you just didn't have the energy to play with your kids.
Yeah, that makes me sad. So often they would ask me, hey, Mom, let's go ride bikes. Let's go do this. Let's go play outside. And at that time, I was homeschooling 2 of the 3 still. It had been a long day, and I just fell to the couch by midday when schoolwork was done, and there really wasn't anything left to give them other than what I already had.
Well, one of the things that impresses me is that your husband has gone along with you on this journey. Let's go ahead and show a before and after of your husband. Tell us about that relationship. Were you each other's cheerleader doing this?
So crazy enough, I had already lost the weight, was beginning to coach, and he really had to come to a time where he was ready. So his story is that we had picked up my son from camp, and we were all going on a 3,000-foot zip line. We're walking up the hill to get our gear, and he was told, you'll need to step on the scale. He was disqualified.
Oh, gosh.
So we had to turn to our teenage son and say, you know what? Mom will go up with you. I'll meet you at the bottom. And that was the beginning of his 80-pound weight loss journey. But it wasn't just about the weight. It was about getting my husband back. What we would do is Sundays were go to church, go out to eat, come home. He would sleep the afternoon away until the game came on. Now he's out in the garden. He's hunting more. I feel confident that his health is better and that I'm going to have him for a lot longer.
Wow, I can see you're getting emotional. So much of this has to do with emotion and a person's relationship with food. I mean, I think we are all listening to some recording. I remember my parents saying, clean your plate, eat everything on your plate. Well, these days, if you go to some restaurants and you clean your plate, that's like 2 meals.
Exactly. And we may only eat those 2 meals or 1 meal for the day, and that's not healthy either. So what I want to help you do is eat more often and stabilize that insulin level so that you're not having the cravings and the hunger and the sluggishness and the inflammation and, quite frankly, your body holding on to what you've given it because it's afraid of when you'll feed it next.
Well, I encourage my audience to follow her on social media, because on your Facebook page are lots of pictures, and I want to go ahead and show some of these pictures because the food can be delicious. I mean, you're not eating celery.
No.
Describe what we're looking at there.
So those are chicken kebabs, and they've been put on the grill. That's a healthy amount of lean protein and a good number of your non-starchy vegetables.
Okay, next picture. What's that?
Oh, this is my favorite. I love nachos. I am not a native Texan. I got here as quick as I could when I married a Texan, but nachos can feel dragged down with the chips and the carb overload. So this is mini bell peppers that have been de-seeded and filled with taco meat, sprinkled with some cheese, popped in the microwave or the oven, and then drizzled with some sour cream, or I like ranch.
It looks yummy. Let's see the next one. Okay, what's that one?
Okay, cauliflower mac and cheese.
And it tastes good.
That's what I made over Thanksgiving, and it was a hit.
No kidding. Can people tell the difference?
You know, they can tell the difference, but, you know, I can tell the difference, and I wouldn't go back to the mushy noodles that fall in my stomach and sit there like a rock when I could have cauliflower mac and cheese.
One more picture, and that looks like you're in a restaurant, is it?
It is. It is.
And what are we looking at?
So that is a local pizza place that I love, and that is a cauliflower crust filled with all of my favorites.
Wow. So the people watching at home right now say, I don't have to starve myself.
No.
You know, and that is a problem with yo-yo dieting, is that some people just restrict their calories and then they have a craving or something goes wrong and they medicate themselves with a whole gallon of Haagen-Dazs.
Yeah, and surprisingly enough, or not so surprising, that feel-good hormone lights up in your brain when you're eating that ice cream. But only as long as you're eating it. So that's why we eat more and more for that feel-good hormone. And then as soon as the spoon gets set down, that's when the guilt and the depression and the sugar rush sets in.
Yes. Let's talk about wine. I know a lot of people started drinking during the pandemic. There's a lot of sugar in wine, isn't there?
There is a lot of sugar in wine. And, you know, having things in moderation is smart. Whether it's wine, whether it's chocolate, whether it's ice cream, too much of a good thing is too much of a good thing.
One of the words you're drawn to is hope. Tell us why.
I deliver hope. So I am looking at giving someone hope that they can get on the floor and play with their grandkids. They can get out from under that crazy sugar addiction like I was, have more energy. My favorite story is the mom who came to me and said, I want to lose 100 pounds. And I asked her why. And she said, so my clothes will fit. That's not really what it's about. Fast forward, we dug into her story. And she is a mom of 4 girls. 2 are small, 2 are teens. She is an adoptive foster mom. And the 2 littles were playing at the park while the older 2 were essentially raising those girls because she didn't have the energy to get off the bench and go play with them.
Wow. Let's talk about New Year's resolutions because we're about a week away from doing that. I was told by an expert one time that you can't just say, I'm going to get in shape or I'm going to get more sleep. You need to almost have defined goals. Explain how one makes and keeps a New Year's resolution.
Yeah, absolutely. So my suggestion would be to pick one thing. And let's change that habit. Lifelong transformation, one healthy habit at a time. That's what we're looking for. If we say we're not going to eat sugar, we're going to sleep 8 hours, we're going to hit the gym 6 days a week, That's a lot to take in at one time. So I look back over my 3.5-year journey on this quest for better health, and it's taken changing habits little bits at a time. And that's what I'm here for. I'm here to help you be accountable, to deliver hope, to walk you through and cheer you on in the up times and the not so up times.
Let's talk about label fables, because if you go to any grocery store, sometimes you'll see all natural, organic, and not everything that is all natural is good for you.
That's true. So what I'm proposing is let's eat from all 5 food groups. And if it's organic, great. You know that it was made non-GMO, all of the good things. But is that your goal? Is your goal to be completely organic? Is your goal to make better habits and eat healthier, sleep better, get in your healthy motion?
Do you feel better now? I mean, is your mind working better?
Oh my gosh. So yes, and I am an adult with ADD. Did not really recognize that until adulthood, but there's a brain fog that lifted. And everything's more clear. It's a beautiful thing.
Wow. We only have a minute left, so talk to the viewer. What words of hope can you leave them with?
Yeah, I would say that if you're feeling down, you're feeling sluggish, you don't have the energy, you want to spend more time with your family, get the things done. I hear from women and men all the time, man, I just wish I had the energy to do more than go to work, come home, and veg, right? Reach out for help. There is so much help out there that I can provide for you in accountability, community, and just a better way.
Wow. Melanie, we're going to end with your website, not your website, your Facebook page, because there's some great images I want you to see on there. So facebook.com/Melanie S. Orchard. Thank you so much for coming on the show.
Thank you for having me.
You bet. That's it for now. We'll see you next time.